car back. Good morning, and welcome back to Englewood Cycling. My name is Kevin. I like to ride bikes, and I like to make videos. And this is another mobile edit. It's my second so far, and I kind of got more confident with this on my my work road trip last week when I did this particular ride, which is Paris Mountain up in Greenville, South Carolina. It's either between or at Travelers Rest, or between Greenville and Travelers Rest. I went and visited some meat packing houses that I do business with, and brought my road bike along with me to get some riding in. My first experimentation with this fully mobile edit on what I consider long form videos was actually a 5-part series of short form videos that you might have seen me riding with the North Florida Bicycle Club up in Jacksonville on Tuesday morning of the week of this trip. This is Thursday morning. After this ride, I would get back to my motel and head up to Bean Station, Tennessee to visit another packing house. Anyways, wanted to share this one. As of this voice recording, this voiceover, I do not know if I'm going to speed up the film or let you watch it in real time. I don't normally put slope on my videos because Florida, but in the mountains it's fun to see how steep it gets, and then you can look over to the left to see what kind of power I'm having to put out to get up some of these climbs and what speed I'm going at it. Mind you, I'm a heavy guy, so steeper it is, the slower I am. But I think right now I can see 2 or 3 miles an hour, maybe 4, on a 5% grade, and I'm pushing around 200 watts, which on flatland, 200 watts gets me about 18 miles an hour. It's kind of my steady state power. Anyways, there's not much to say. I really like riding in and around Greenville. They have a great trail system, or trail, called the Swamp Rabbit Trail, or SRT for short, that also goes from Greenville up to Travelers Rest. On both ends of that trail, there's nice little restaurants, nice little downtowns. Bring a bike lock, have a beer, have some food, do some shopping, whatnot. The trail was a little bit narrower than what I'm used to here in Florida, and it was busier than I'm used to, and obviously hillier, but the pedestrian traffic and the other cycling traffic were better trail users than what I'm used to in Florida. A lot less wandering, a lot fewer dogs on long leashes. Most dogs were on short leashes most of the time, and when they weren't, the owners were attentive and responsive to when I said on your left, or they were coming the opposite direction. They saw me and they shortened up their leash really quickly. So, and it's a younger crowd up there, so you just don't have that hearing issue that you have with older people, or that wandering issue with the older crowd. This road ride, a friend of mine, Brendan, sent me the route. It was someone else's route, starting from Hincapie Sportswear. George Hincapie was a pro cyclist. He raced with Lance Armstrong. He was Lance Armstrong's super domestique during that era. So for better or worse, this was a Hincapie Sportswear ride. I rode it on a weekday. School was in session. Roads were busy, but they weren't, I won't say they weren't dangerous, because I think every road is dangerous, period. It's just a matter of how accommodating vehicles are. So the route to get to the climb was fairly busy for about a 5-mile stretch. I rode from my little motel to where the route started and then did the route. It was supposed to be a kind of an out and back route, but I did one climb over the mountain, and a couple things came into play. I was within 2 hours of my checkout time, and I didn't request a late checkout, so I wanted to not push that because I actually wanted to get back to the motel, get cleaned up, and then get on the road. The other part of it was a hard climb, and I didn't want to go back in the opposite direction. I believe the direction we're going right now is the steeper side of the mountain, whereas the other side was a more shallow grade going down, and relatively speaking, it would have been easier going up. I just didn't want to get to the motel with not enough time to at least shower. The way I did it, when I got to the turnaround point on the climb, which is at the end of the downhill, I looked up where my motel was, and I was 3 miles away. So I got back to the motel minutes after they closed their little free breakfast section. The lady let me in to grab some eggs and biscuits, and I was well fed, well showered, and was able to leisurely get on the road. If you're up in the Greenville area, I definitely recommend SRT, Swamp Rabbit Trail. 30 miles round trip, so whether you start in Greenville or you start at Travelers Rest and ride the whole trail, it's 15 miles one way. There's a university somewhere in there that has restrooms added, but other than that, other than the main trailheads, I didn't see any restrooms on the route. So you kind of have to come off route, but there's signs that kind of let you know. University started with an F. I can't remember what it was. Don't know that I'm going to take the time to go look it up. But it was a nice, and I actually took the exit off the trail, went onto the university section, used the restroom, and then continued on that section. And it brings you back onto the trail a little bit further north in the direction I was going, and I continued on to Travelers Rest. This is not a how to ride a bike trail, mainly because it's not a bike trail, but enjoy the climb. Know that I suffered. Know that I'm still going 4 miles an hour with a 9% slope right now. Let's ride.
I just wanna drive right to the coastline, 'cause I can't get these thoughts out of my mind. Oh, every day is and repeat. Oh, what has it gotten me? On the road to nowhere. I try to stop, but I don't know where. Hit the gas and goes down. Too much traffic in this town. On the road to nowhere, to nowhere. Existential crisis, stuck in nostalgia. When did everything go from sweet to sour? Oh, I've got nothing left in me. Oh, in a world that's a machine. On the road to nowhere. I try to stop, but I don't know where.
if you're still here watching me suffer on this climb, thank you. Take this time to leave a comment. Let me know what you think of riding in mountains or riding in the hills, especially if you're one of my Florida watchers and the only hills we get are bridges and whatnot. What's your experience with riding in the mountains? What are your tips? And also hit the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, and I know this is a long video, watch as much of it as you can. Thank you for watching.
From here, I'm falling in deeper. Where do we go from here? You got me wrapped around you. Where do we go from here? I'm falling in deeper than anything ever. You got me wrapped around you. Where do we go from here? I'm falling in deeper. Where do we go from here? Ever? You got me wrapped around you. Where do we go from here? I'm falling. Where do you go? It's crazy. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? This feeling is bigger than anything I've ever known. You sweep me up, you sweep me up. This feeling is bigger than anything I've ever known. You sweep me up, you sweep me up.
Alright, we're almost getting to the top of this climb, and we'll get to the fun part soon. Again, thank you to watching to this point. I decided to go ahead and just keep the full video up. It's quote unquote only 26 minutes or so. It's a long watch. You can skip around if you want. But I had a good time. Thank you for watching to this point. I wish I had something more interesting to say other than it was very cathartic being able to get out on the bike during a work trip with a lot of driving, a lot of meeting people that I only really knew from phone calls and emails, and it was nice to put faces to names and at a couple places see a few people I hadn't seen in a while. So do you travel with your bike? What's your favorite method to get your bike from point to point? Have you ever flown with a bike? I've never done that. I'm reluctant to do that. Not because my equipment is particularly high end and I'm worried about damaging it. It just seems like a hassle. I'd prefer to have all my bike stuff in my car and drive around. Looking forward to hear your thoughts. Enjoy the rest of the video, and again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Whee! 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 Welcome to the fun part.